Hi, I'm Miley Alicia, and Pip the blue cheek, excuse me, Pip the green cheek conure wants to say hi also. In this tutorial, we're going to be learning our backstitch. So for our library card, oops, upside down, and the Goldens have said hi. This stitch is the back stitch. It ends up looking very similar to the two colored running stitch where your stitches are right next to each other, but instead of using two colors or even the same, because your front and your backs look very similar here, your back stitch wraps around so it's making loops through your thread going backwards, creating this line. I am doing this library card on a piece of black felt, and it's really easy. The same thing, your needle's going to go down right next to your first stitch and come up on the other side. You can tell I have golden retrievers, so I want my stitches to be even. There are reasons to be uneven, but for the most part, if you work on having even, they'll look better. For having uneven stitch, you want to have it really exaggerated. But so your back stitches tend to be as even as you can possibly make them, with your thread that came up in the middle, and so your even amount of space on each side. And you just pull through. This only lets you do one stitch at a time. So again, I go back down and come back up. So when you're done with your however long you want your back stitch to go, we're just going to take it straight down so it's only half of a stitch and turn it over, knotting it off. So you can really see the wraparounds to the back side of a back stitch. And then I'm just going to take it around my last stitch. Okay, I'm going to take it around a second time. So, just a simple half, pull it through. Oop. So you're trying to create the spiral and you're trying to create a knot. A lot of you are going to say, no straight line. You wouldn't, I would need to use a ruler, use a transfer, or a chalk to actually draw a straight line. Straight lines and me are not necessarily great friends. I don't think my transfer pen, where's my ruler? It's gone into hiding. Dark color on, not gonna work. So the other thing you could do is stitch right next to a piece of paper. That will help, stitch right next to a piece of paper. That will help you keep your straight line or draw something on so that you've got a bit of transfer. So we could use a bit of chalk. This is my 3-year-old's chalk for her chalkboard, but it's what I could find. So we want to add some sort of decorative to this. So I'm going to do a fun line. And then So when starting your back stitch, you actually start in the center of the stitch. So I'm going to come up a little bit. And I'm going to come backwards with my stitch. And come up. Tailor's chalk would be a neater, straighter, smaller line, but the kids' chalk works. When going around curves, the smaller your stitch is, the easier it is to go around a curve. So I wouldn't necessarily, the more roundy your curve is going to look. So I wouldn't necessarily want real long, big stitches doing this little loop about. And I just kind of rotate my material in my hand to keep following the line. And as you can see, normal chalk starts to brush off as it goes through, so you need to be careful on how you handle it. But we also want it to brush away. We don't want it to be there when we're totally done. So coming to where I'm going to come back across itself, couple of ways to do this. One, I can adjust my line a little bit so that I come to a point here. I could take my thread straight across. I could tuck underneath. Really just depends on what sort of a look you want when you're pulling together. I'm going to go ahead and just make the point. So I'm coming to the end of my line. I'm also coming to the end of my thread. So it's how far do I want to push my thread. I think I can get one more stitch in here. So I remember I have one of my longer needles with my bigger eye here. So I'm really getting close to my end. And I have the kitty coming over to say hi to everybody. So I just want to go down. When I go down, I want to not pull my thread out. And I do have enough across the back that I can make my knot and secure this so that it's not going to come out. It's not going to be as nice as my normal knots, but I can. Oh, so I did unthread myself. It's your choice whether you want a thread to take the last little bit or not worry about it. Depending on what your project is, I could just use a crochet hook and crochet hook it. My next, if I was going around again, my next threads, I could just make sure I knot it and capture it. Because I'm going to be putting this to my stitch card, I'm not going to worry about it. I'll end up taping it. But again, you can see the loop arounds and see the back side of your back stitch. So there is our back stitch. Thank you. We will be adding more stitches to our stitch library. Please check back.